Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something pretty mind-blowing, co-evolutionary hybrid intelligence. I've been looking over the research you sent, and even the title, co-evolutionary hybrid intelligence, is, well, intriguing.
Yeah, it's really something, and they're really changing the game. We're not just talking about AI as a tool anymore. This is about AI and human intelligence evolving together, like a real partnership.
Okay, I'm interested. But before we get lost in all the details of co-evolutionary hybrid intelligence, or CHI for short, can you help me understand why we need a whole new approach to AI? What's wrong with how we're doing it now?
Well, the focus right now is mainly on data-centric AI. Basically, we're building super complex systems that need mountains of data to work. And that's been great for some things, like facial recognition, personalized recommendations, that kind of stuff. But it kind of falls apart when you try to deal with really complex systems.
So, like when my voice assistant thinks I want to buy a rocket because I asked it for a recipe for mooncakes.
Exactly. But it's bigger than just those little everyday annoyances. Imagine trying to gather enough data to really understand something like climate change or how a new virus spreads. It's nearly impossible to get enough information to build an AI that can handle that.
So we need a new way of doing things, something that doesn't just rely on massive data sets. And that's where CHI comes in.
Exactly. CHI is all about humans and AI working together, each using their strengths. Think of it as putting together the ultimate problem-solving team.
Okay, I like where this is going. But how does this partnership actually work? It can't be as simple as humans and AI just sitting in a room together.
No, definitely not. The key here is interoperability. That means humans and machines talking to each other, sharing what they know, and working together smoothly. Humans bring creativity, intuition, a sense of ethics, and all those complex social things. And AI brings the heavy-duty processing power, the ability to spot patterns and analyze tons of data really fast.
So it's not just a one-way street where we program the AI. It's a two-way exchange. The AI learns from us, and we learn from it. Now, that's what I call teamwork. But I'm guessing it takes more than just putting humans and AI together and hoping for the best, right?
You're right. There are three key things that need to happen for CHI to work. First, we need something called cognitive function formalization.
Okay, that sounds pretty intense. Are we talking about, like, mapping the whole human mind?
Kinda, yeah. It's all about understanding how human intelligence works at its core. Things like how we pay attention, make decisions, even how we figure out what things mean. We're talking about figuring out how to represent those functions so machines can understand them.
So it's not just about making machines act like humans, but actually teaching them to get the processes behind human thought. That's pretty fascinating, but also a little scary, to be honest. Are we talking about creating machines that think like us?
That's a question that comes up a lot. It's important to remember that even though CHI wants machines to understand how we think, it's not about making a copy of human consciousness. It's about making it possible for humans and AI to work together better.
So it's more about understanding, not copying. Okay, I get it.
Yes.
What's the second thing we need for CHI?
Well, the second thing is efficient knowledge transfer. We need ways for humans and AI to share what they know without any hiccups. That means the AI has to be able to learn from human experiences and insights, not just data. And humans need to be able to understand and use the things AI figures out.
Now, that's really interesting to me. I can imagine a future where AI isn't just helping us solve problems, but actually helping us understand the world in new ways we can't even imagine right now.
Exactly. And the third thing, which is just as important, is seamless integration. We've got to make sure these CHI systems can fit into our regular work and systems, whether that's in healthcare, finance, research, you name it. We don't want to create something brilliant that no one can actually use in the real world.
Right. It needs to be user-friendly, not just a great idea that stays stuck in a lab somewhere.
Mhm.
So we've covered the why and the how, but I'm a real-world kind of guy. Can you give me a specific example that shows CHI in action?
Absolutely. Let's look at healthcare. There's this really cool example of CHI being used to figure out stress levels in patients with neurological disorders.
Okay, that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Tell me more.
So, researchers created a system where AI looks at those tiny movements patients make, the ones you wouldn't even notice normally. These little twitches and things can tell us a lot about how stressed a patient is.
So the AI is like a super sensitive stress detector.
Yeah. But here's where the humans come in. Doctors take those findings from the AI and put them together with everything else they know about the patient, like their history, symptoms, and all those other things. That helps them come up with a more accurate diagnosis and a better treatment plan.
I love how this shows how CHI is a two-way street. AI finds the patterns, humans figure out what it means and give feedback, And that feedback makes the AI even better. It's like everyone's learning and improving together.
Exactly. And it goes further than just this one case. This kind of teamwork between AI and doctors could help us learn so much more about how physical movements and neurological conditions are connected. And that knowledge can help other patients too. Maybe even unlock some of the secrets of the brain.
That's incredible. It seems like CHI could totally change how we treat diseases and even how we understand the human body as a whole.
It really could. And this is just one example. CHI could be used in almost any field you can think of. But as we move into this new territory, we have to be smart about it. We need to think about the implications of this powerful technology.
We've talked about how great CHI could be, but any powerful technology comes with responsibility, right?
Yeah.
What are some things we need to be careful about as we move forward? What could go wrong?
Well, one of the big worries is what we call human cognitive degradation. If we start depending too much on AI to do things we used to ourselves, we might lose some of our own mental abilities.
Like if you don't use it, you lose it. But for our brains, yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. We have to make sure CHI systems are helping us, not replacing us. We need to find that sweet spot where we use AI strengths, but still keep our own brains sharp.
So we have to be careful about what tasks we give to AI and make sure we're still using our brains. I get it. What else should we be thinking about?
Another big one is making sure humans stay in control of AI development and decision-making. As AI systems get smarter, we have to make sure we still understand how they work, what their goals are, and that we can step in if we need to. This is especially important in things like healthcare or finance, where AI decisions can have a big impact on people's lives.
You're right. We can't just let AI run wild. We need to make sure human values and ethics are part of any decision AI helps make.
Exactly. And this brings up a really interesting question. What if AI starts influencing our own ethics and morals? As we change and grow with these intelligent machines, could they change how we see right and wrong? Could they change how we understand the world and each other?
Whoa, okay, those are some big questions.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about making smarter machines anymore. We're talking about AI maybe changing how human society works and even how we understand ourselves. That's where things get a little sci-fi, isn't it?
It does, doesn't it? But this is the future we're moving towards. This co-evolution, it's not just about technology getting better. It's about how humans and intelligence relate to each other in a whole new way. And just like any big change, it comes with both incredible opportunities and some really tough questions we need to think about.
I'm feeling a mix of excitement and, I have to admit, a little nervousness too. We could solve some of the world's biggest problems, but we have to be careful how we handle this new era of intelligence. What's really amazing to me is how CHI makes us rethink what it means to be intelligent in the first place. It's not just about making machines smarter, it's about humans and AI working together to unlock a whole new level of intelligence.
That's it, exactly. And it's a journey filled with both potential and uncertainty. We have the chance to do some amazing things, but we need to move forward with caution, wisdom, and a lot of open discussion about those ethical considerations you mentioned.
That's a great point. I think we've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive, from why data-centric AI has limitations to the building blocks of CHI, and even some of the potential downsides we need to watch out for. It's clear that co-evolutionary hybrid intelligence isn't just about new tech. It's a whole different way of thinking that could change our world in ways we can't even predict.
It really is. And the really cool thing is, this is just the start of the conversation. There's so much more to discover. We need to think about how CHI will affect different fields, what new ethical rules we'll need, and how to get ready for a future where humans and AI are deeply connected. We were talking before about the potential of co-evolutionary hybrid intelligence and some of the things we need to be careful about as we go further into this new world of intelligence. Now I think it's a good time to see how CHI could change different parts of our lives.
I'm ready. We talked about healthcare earlier, but what about other areas where CHI could really make a difference? What are some examples that get you excited?
Well, one of the most exciting areas for me is scientific research. Just imagine you're an astrophysicist trying to understand dark matter. You've got tons of data from telescopes and satellites, but it's overwhelming, even with the best algorithms we have.
Yeah, like trying to find a tiny speck of dust in a giant warehouse.
Exactly. But now, imagine you've got a CHI system that can handle all that data and also learn from your ideas, your insights, your intuition as a scientist. It could see patterns you might miss, point you in new directions, and even help you design experiments to test out your theories.
It'd be like having a research partner who sees the universe in a completely different way than we do.
That's the idea. This kind of partnership could lead to breakthroughs in understanding the cosmos that neither humans nor AI could achieve on their own.
Okay, astronomy is amazing, but what about something a little more down to earth? How could CHI change the way we learn, for example?
Well, imagine a classroom where students aren't just sitting there listening, but actively learning alongside AI tutors. And I'm not talking about those robot teachers you see in old sci-fi movies.
I was just thinking that.
These AI tutors would be totally personalized. They'd adapt to each student's learning style, their strengths and weaknesses. They could figure out what someone's struggling with, give them specific feedback, even come up with custom learning activities to help them get those tough concepts.
So like a personal tutor for every student, but without the crazy cost.
Exactly. And remember, we talked about efficient knowledge transfer. That's where it gets really cool. The AI tutor wouldn't just be teaching, it'd be learning from the students too.
So by looking at how students answer questions, what they ask, even their facial expressions, the AI could keep getting better at teaching. It could come up with new educational tools that help everyone learn better.
You got it. It's this back and forth where both the student and the AI are learning and growing together, constantly getting better. This co-evolutionary way of learning could totally change education, make it more engaging, personalized, and effective.
This is pretty exciting stuff. It seems like everywhere we look, CHI has the potential to not just make things more efficient, but completely revolutionize how we solve problems and come up with solutions. It's about teamwork, not replacement.
You're absolutely right. It's about partnerships that make human ingenuity even better and help us understand and create in new ways. And that brings us to another area where CHI could be a game changer: art and design.
Now, this is where I'm really curious. Can AI really be artistic?
That's a tough one. I think it's more complicated than a simple yes or no. AI might not have that same spark of creativity that drives human artists, but it can be a powerful tool for exploring new ways of expressing art.
So it's like giving artists new tools and materials to work with, expanding their creative possibilities.
Yes. Imagine a painter working with an AI that can create endless variations of a painting, exploring all kinds of colors, textures, and compositions. Or a sculptor using AI to turn their abstract ideas into real forms, pushing the limits of what's physically possible.
We could see brand new types of art coming from this, styles and forms we haven't even imagined yet.
It's a pretty amazing thought, and that's where cognitive function formalization, that first building block we talked about, becomes so important. The better we understand how human creativity works in the brain, the better we can create AI tools that can really collaborate with artists.
So many questions. Will we see AI systems being called artists themselves one day? Will museums have exhibitions of art created entirely by AI, or maybe collaborative works that blend human and AI creativity?
Those are questions we'll have to figure out as a society as CHI keeps evolving. This isn't just about technology, it's about how we define art, creativity, and what human expression means in a world that's more and more driven by technology.
It's mind-blowing and a bit scary, to be honest, to think about how much could change. But it's also incredibly exciting. It feels like we're on the edge of a new golden age for art, and I can't wait to see what comes out of this fusion of human and artificial intelligence.
I agree. It's that feeling of excitement and possibility that makes CHI so interesting. It's not just about making smarter machines, it's about going on this journey of co-evolution that could change everything about our world.
So we've talked about CHI's potential in healthcare, scientific research, education, even art. It seems like the possibilities are endless. But we can't just get caught up in the hype. We have to be realistic too. What are the next steps in making this vision of co-evolutionary hybrid intelligence a reality? What needs to happen to move from talking about it to actually doing it?
That's a great question, and it brings us back to those key things we need for CHI to work. We need to keep putting effort into a few important areas. First, research. We need to keep learning more about how human cognition works. That way, we can translate what we learn into better computational models for AI.
So more of those mind-bending theories about attention and consciousness. Count me in. The more we understand our own minds, the better we can work with AI.
Definitely. The more we understand human intelligence, the better we can create AI systems that can truly work with us. Second, we need to develop new tools and platforms that make it easy for humans and AI to work together. Things like intuitive interfaces, ways to share data securely, and ethical guidelines for responsible AI development.
It's like building the foundation for a whole new society, where humans and AI live and work together seamlessly.
That's a great way to put it. We need to build systems that create trust, transparency, and understanding between humans and AI. And finally, and maybe most importantly, we need to encourage a culture of open discussion and collaboration. We need experts from all sorts of fields: computer science, engineering, psychology, philosophy, ethics, all working together to make sure we're thinking about CHI in a holistic and responsible way.
It sounds like we need a global team of brilliant minds to guide us, a diverse group of experts, thinkers, and creators to shape the future of intelligence in a way that benefits everyone.
I couldn't agree more. We need to tap into the collective wisdom of all humanity to make sure that CHI is developed and used for good.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before the break, we were talking about putting together this global brain trust to guide how we develop and use co-evolutionary hybrid intelligence. Seems like a huge task. Where do we even start?
It's a big challenge, yeah. But I think we can do it. We've already seen amazing examples of people working together and sharing knowledge, especially in science.
True, like the Human Genome Project or the Large Hadron Collider.
Right.
Those were massive projects that needed people from all over the world to work together, and they achieved some groundbreaking results.
Exactly. Those projects show what we can do when we combine our resources and expertise. But those were mostly about scientific discoveries. CHI could change everything, from how we treat diseases and educate our kids to how we make art and run our economies. How do we make sure this global brain trust includes all those different perspectives?
It has to be really inclusive, right? We can't just have the usual scientists, engineers, and tech companies. We need philosophers, people who study ethics, artists, social scientists, economists, policymakers, and everyday people from all walks of life. This future of intelligence affects everyone.
Absolutely. This isn't just about making cool technology. It's about making sure that technology serves all of humanity in all its diversity. It's about making knowledge accessible to everyone and making sure the benefits of CHI are shared fairly.
I like that. But how do we actually bring all these people together? How do we get them talking and working together on such a massive scale?
That's where things get interesting. We can use the very technology we're talking about to help us. We can use AI-powered translation tools to help people who speak different languages understand each other. We can create online platforms for people to work together from anywhere in the world. And we can design simulations that help people understand and experiment with different ways to use CHI.
So using technology to help us have a global conversation about technology. But yeah, I see why that's so important. We need to make sure that everyone has a chance to contribute and shape the future of intelligence, no matter who they are or where they live.
Exactly. And this global brain trust, it won't get a one-time thing. It has to keep changing and growing. It's about continuous learning, sharing, and adapting as we figure out how to co-evolve with AI.
I'm starting to see how this could work. It's like a worldwide network of people and organizations connected through technology, having these ongoing discussions and working together to make sure CHI is developed and used in a responsible and beneficial way.
That's it. And it's not just about the technology itself. This collective effort has to deal with the social, ethical, and philosophical sides of CHI, too. How do we make sure that AI helps human intelligence without making us less intelligent? How do we design AI systems that match our values and make life better for everyone? These are big questions that need us to really think and talk openly about them.
It sounds like this global brain trust isn't just about making machines smarter, it's about us becoming wiser, using technology to make us more understanding and empathetic, to create a future where both human and artificial intelligence can do well.
That's a great way to put it. We have an incredible opportunity to do something really special. By choosing to co-evolve with AI, we can open up so many new possibilities and create a future that works for everyone.
This deep dive has been amazing. We've talked about why our current ways of doing AI have limits, the incredible potential of co-evolutionary hybrid intelligence, and the essential steps we need to take to make sure we're doing this right. I started out with a lot of questions and maybe even a little bit of fear, but I'm ending this feeling inspired and excited. What about you?
I am too. It's a topic that brings up all sorts of emotions, but ultimately, I think it gives us a reason to be optimistic. We have the power to shape what intelligence will look like in the future, and if we work together, we can create a world where human and artificial intelligence work side by side, helping each other thrive.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to be part of this conversation. Learn more about CHI, think about what it means for us, and talk about it with others. The future of intelligence isn't set in stone. It's something we build together. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.